Hello, welcome. Today I have another ink review video for you. This is called Down the Don Valley. And again, we've got this beautiful packaging. I really love their boxes. They always have these metallic accents on them, super pretty. So let's go ahead and open this. I'm going to try not to damage it. Let me grab something. Here we go. There we are. I'm going to try to pull this up. There we are. All right. Trying really hard not to damage the boxes because I do like to use them for display. And that's what the little flaps look like inside. Really cute. Like I said, I love how they decorate everything. Okay, anyway. Let's pull that out here. And this is how it looks in the bottle. And it looks like there's some shimmer in there. So let's get that shaken up. And because of the shimmers, I'm going to be picking this up and shaking it in between so that all of the swatches we make will have the shimmer in them. All right. And this I'm using is called a carousel. All it does is it holds the bottle so I don't tip it over as easily. All right, let me go ahead and get this open. And I'll leave a link down below where you could find their inks. They do have some special edition ones that might be harder to get, but there we go. I never know when they're going to sell out of something, but like I said, I'll leave a link where you can find their inks. You know what, actually, this reaches all the way down. Maybe I'll just stir it in between. Well, no, actually. That won't work for the writing test. Never mind. All right, let's go ahead and put down some ink here. There we go. So far, it's looking really good. A little bit more. There, that's better. All right, let's write the name on here. This is Ferris wheel press. So far, this is a really pretty bright green. That's how it looks so far. I'm going to set this under a fan to dry. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to shake this because, like I mentioned, it's got shimmer in it. You know what, actually, I'm going to try, well, yeah, let's... Never mind. I'm going back and forth about a couple different ideas. I could throw a one of the stir rods in there maybe or something, but I think this is fine. All right, there we go. Okay, so here's some copy paper, and I always test everything on copy paper because sometimes you're in a situation, maybe you're stuck at work or school, and you just don't have access to your nicer papers. So you just want to know if this ink is going to behave itself. And this is copy paper. All right, so far this is looking okay. Very bright green, very pretty. I'm going to set that over there to dry. And now we're going to try the same thing on some HP 32 paper. And HP 32 is also copy paper, but it's smoother and it resists the ink nicely. So sometimes if the ink has any special properties, they'll show up on this paper. So I always like to do a test with this as well. There we go. It is a lot smoother to write on, and it's a really good budget option. And I'll have links down below where you can find these papers if you're having trouble finding them. And if there are any other colors that you'd like to see me review, just leave a suggestion, and if I have it or if I can get it, then we'll do a review video. All right, there we go. That's what it's looking like so far. We'll set that aside to dry, and now we'll try this on some Tomo River paper. And Tomo River paper is very smooth and also resists the ink really well. And typically out of all three of these papers, it will show off the special properties of the ink the best. So I always include it in my swatches. All right, there we go. And brings us down the Don Valley. And this is Tomo River. And if these videos are helpful to you at all, or if you enjoy watching them, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any. And of course, it also helps me out. There we go. All right, that's what that's looking like so far. I'm going to check on our swatch and see if it's dry. I'll be right back. All right, here we are back with the swatches. Let me grab the copy paper. So it does seem to have behaved okay on the copy paper. There's a tiny bit of feathering, but I know that sometimes that can be helped with using a finer nibbed pen. And the shimmer on this is really pretty. It's like a silvery kind of a sheen. It's very subtle and very pretty. It's not, most of the greens I have use gold shimmer, and this has more of a silvery shimmer, which is really unique and pretty. And then compared to the HP 32, you can see that the color is a lot richer here when you compare the two, and there's a little bit of a halo shading going on and a little bit of shading here in the writing. And of course it's got that beautiful bluish, it's not even really blue, it's like it comes off as like a silver. Very pretty. And then here it is on the Tomo River paper, and honestly I don't know if the shimmer is really silver as much as it's just maybe the shimmer is green and it's reflecting silver or something, I don't know, but it's very, very pretty. And then here you can see a lot more of that halo shading. It's very, very nice. A little bit of shading here in the writing, and then that really nice shimmer that comes off of it. Super, super pretty. This is a really nice ink in an unusual color. So I really like this one, of course, and how it looks is going to change depending on the paper that you use. So whichever you prefer, this is one of those where it could be, you know, either way. If you like the way the writing looks on this paper versus on here where it looks like you get a little bit of a thinner script kind of, versus the HP 32 where the ink is able to lay down a little bit more heavily. So that was just interesting. And then here is how the swatch turned out. I think it's really pretty. You've got this lovely lighter green here that goes to a much darker green. All this shading down here and the halo shading and the ribbons. And you can see what I mean about that shimmer. It's like super pretty. Really, really nice. And then here's how the writing looks. You can see a little bit of shading in there. So this is a really pretty color. And I will leave a link where you can find their inks down below. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.